And what's going on, fight fans? Welcome back to the Three Piece Plaza, where today is a very, very, very late post. It is currently 5 to 2 in the morning, and this is just going to be me giving my very late predictions on the Sergey Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes main event. Now, due to the main card already starting, the Bruno Silva versus Brad Tavares fight has just happened, with Bruno Silva taking the victory by TKO. Basically, I'm just going to give my predictions on who I think is going to win, how I think they're going to win the main event. This is not going to be a long video. Could be 2 minutes, if that. Maybe. Who knows? So, basically, let's sum up the stats here. So, we know Sergey Pavlovich is a knockout artist. His last 2 fights against Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis have not gone over a minute. Obviously, we know Curtis Blaydes is nothing like them. Although Curtis Blaydes has been knocked out off Derek Lewis, I believe he will play this smart and he will wrestle as much as he can. Although the fact that Sergey Pavlovich is Russian, I think that Curtis Blaydes will have the wrestling advantage, as we saw in the Alistair Overeem match on Sergey Pavlovich's debut, which is his only MMA loss in total. I believe Curtis Blaydes is going to shoot for an early takedown, try and grapple with him as much, try and wrestle with him as much to avoid being knocked out or hurt. But how do I think it will end? I believe this will be Sergey Pavlovich's first UFC fight going out of the first round, due to the fact that he's got so much pressure on him having his first main event in the UFC. It's just the pressure's gonna get to him. It's gonna build up. Curtis Blaydes has obviously been in this spot. He's been in a 5-rounder. He's been up against so much talent. Same with Sergey Pavlovich in his last couple of matches. As I said, Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa, we've seen how that went. He obviously schooled them both under a minute. But basically, long story short, I believe that Sergey Pavlovich will take this fight. I want to say second round knockout, but I'm gonna go over a limb here, and I want to extend that to the third. I think he's gonna catch Curtis Blaydes with something, because as we saw, Curtis Blaydes has been knocked out twice, or 3 times in fact. Well, when you say 3 times, he's got 3 TKOs on his record, but one of them was a doctor stoppage against his first ever loss against Francis Ngannou, until they run it back, and then he got floored by Ngannou. And then obviously the man who Sergey Pavlovich has beat, Derek Lewis, he got hurt with a very, very, very bad uppercut that just sent him to sleep very quickly. But yep, I believe although Curtis Blaydes will most likely wrestle for most of the fight and try and ground and pound Sergey Pavlovich, I just don't think it's going to go his way. And I think Sergey Pavlovich is going to get a very, very, very good win on his record, and possibly up next for the championship if Stipe Miocic doesn't move anywhere or Stipe Miocic stays quiet. I think Sergey Pavlovich versus John Jones would be a very interesting match. Although John Jones has probably got better wrestling than Sergey Pavlovich, better striking than Pavlovich, grappling, jiu-jitsu, all of the above, it would just be very interesting to see how that would go. Either it could happen this year, most likely not, or next year, depending what John Jones does as well. But yep, that's gonna be all for this video. As I said, it wasn't a very long video. It's been longer than I expected, but it hasn't been a very long video. But that's all my opinions. We've obviously saw how the main card's gone. Bruno Silva's just won in the co-main event. Bobby Green and Jared Gordon has ended in a no contest due to a accidental headbutt, which is a bummer, because I would have liked to see a winner come out of that. I genuinely had it for Jared Gordon winning, but during that first round, it didn't look like he was winning at all. He landed some very, very clean shots on Bobby Green, but Bobby Green also landed some very clean shots on him. Took him down once or twice, I believe, but he just out wrestled and he didn't really wrestle him, though, to be fair. It was mainly on the feet, but he outstruck Jared Gordon. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for listening to this video and listening to my predictions. And I hope you have fun, or had fun, watching the main event. And let me know what your predictions was in the comments if you can. Because you will most likely see this video after the main event. The main event's going to come in about 5 minutes, if that. I am not sure. But, yep, thank you guys and stay safe.